Good morning, everybody. We're celebrating Fitzy's 50th birthday on Positive Tuesday today, July 11th, 2023. You can tell by his laughter, he did not know that we were doing this today. It's technically not until tomorrow, but we don't do shows on Wednesdays. So right. we're celebrating it today. So for the birthday boy, Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience as locally owned and operated business, provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. You can call the owner directly on his cell phone. Brian, the number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Early birthday, but whatever.
Tomorrow it is.
Well, today, we're pretending like your birthday is today, because again, we don't do shows on Wednesdays, so happy birthday.
We have to pretend.
We are totally pretending.
And we got our shirts on today.
Yes, we do.
Look at that.
Yeah. Jen dropped it off a couple days ago in our mailbox.
Yep.
Yay. So we can certainly talk about that. Hey, speaking of that, of what we're talking about today, so I sent you the show flow as usual. Thankfully, there's no press releases, fatalities. I don't think we did a story in Barron County. One was indirectly related to Barron County, but I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, and still to this day, Jerusha does it for me, and my mom did it when I was a kid. When it's your birthday, you get to pick your own meal, right? Isn't that's a thing? Yeah. Well, I don't cook for you. So the equivalent of that is disregard that show flow. It's your show. You can whatever you want to talk about. Right. That's what we're going to talk about. So where do you want to start? What do you want to talk about?
Well, we always start with our sports questions. What do you think about the number one draft pick getting shut down in the Summer League?
Well, you mean in terms of he only played 2 games?
Yeah. Let him play.
He wanted to, but I think that's a smart move probably because there's no practice. There's like no plays they run. It's just, go out and it's like true. A pickup game. And I think that could be dangerous physically. And every time I look at that dude, 7'4", I feel like he's going to break. Because he's so skinny.
And like Zion,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We have a celebrity watching today. Dave Wilson. Welcome to AARP.
Yeah. Thanks, pal. How was he on the show last week?
Terrible. No, he did great. He killed it. He did a good job. By the way, I should probably bring this up again since you seem to steal everybody from Washburn County lately. Hey, if you're looking to be a jailer or a dispatcher, Washburn County is currently hiring. We have that post up on our website at DrydenWire.com. So, hey, have you ever thought about a career in law enforcement? It's a relatively controlled environment, right? I would do that job just because I don't have to deal with domestics. Like, that's it. Because I don't want to deal with that stuff. My heart would just hurt for them, and I wouldn't know how to handle it anyway. Even with training, I'd be like, oh, because I always see both sides of everything. It's like, oh, well, I'm so sorry. Yeah, he's an idiot. Then you talk to him. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. She's an idiot. I'd be terrible at that.
I think we're losing one to Polk County, so I'm going to see if Washburn County's got any more jailers. I think Polk's stealing one of mine now, so I think.
Well, look at it that way. Hey, if you want to work in Barron County, first start in Washburn County.
We can't do that.
No, we can't do that. What did you think about going back to? What did you think about Wemby's being shut down? And of the only 2 games, first game he did kind of struggle. Second game, boy, I mean, he had like 27 points.
12 blocks or
12 rebounds, 3 blocks. I mean, what do you think?
I think it's going to be fun. I watched SportsCenter this morning for the first time in a long time. Just had some time before the chamber meeting this morning, and I learned a lot this morning. So thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. That's the respect that people like us and our positions have to give people. Thanks, I appreciate it, Mike. Yeah.
Oh shoot! You know what? Speaking of Mike, I don't think I've sent out our sponsor check to them because aren't we going golfing? Spooner Golf. That's like in 3 weeks. You know what, Mike? If you're going to be at work tomorrow, I should probably stop in and drop that off to you guys.
Is it Mike at work every day?
No, he's a CEO.
He's probably on the beach somewhere.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah,
Life of a
because
CEO.
everybody, you own a business. I'm never in my office. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I also have not been able to really watch a lot of Sports Center lately. However, I did watch one match with an American, Christopher Eubanks. Speaking of tall people, dude's 6'7". He's got the longest legs I've ever seen as a tennis player. He's from America. He was never ranked higher than like 150th. And he's like the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers last year in the playoffs, where he's just he's doing incredible. And yesterday he beat number 5 ranked Tsitsipas. He either today or tomorrow he has to play. I don't think he'll make it past today, but you never know. I don't know if you've watched him, but he is like a breath of fresh air, his interviews, because let's face it, tennis is a bunch of just rich, snobby people, entitled. Like, I like watching tennis, but I don't like hearing their interviews because they're just terrible. Almost every one of them is just terrible. But he is so awesome. Have you seen him?
No, I have not. I caught a little bit this morning. Is that the guy playing Djokovic today, or whatever his name is?
No. He's playing Medvedev. No, I can't remember who he's playing. Maybe it's Medvedev.
Like quarterfinals now. For
yeah. It's big time now. It's big time.
It's big time.
Real quick before we move on to whatever you want to talk about, it's your birthday. Okay. I looked up. So Kenneth was watching some of the tennis with me, and I kept seeing them change out the balls all the time. Like, I wonder how many balls they go through Wimbledon. It's a 2-week-long tournament. Yeah. Do you want to venture a guess on how many tennis balls that they use during a Wimbledon tournament?
I have no idea. I wouldn't even know what to guess.
Well, guess.
200.
Guess a little higher. 54,000, but just shy of 55,000.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
That's crazy. And then you divide that up by like each one of those canisters, like 3 balls. I mean, who's ever making the tennis ball, man, they just make a fortune on this.
Yeah, that's right. Well, they work one day a year.
Yeah. And Bunny, I had a chance to meet her during the 3rd of July fireworks. She and your dad. It was great watching my dad and your dad just sat and talked all the time. It was just wonderful.
They had a blast.
Stop where we get your gift. She also sent me a photo of you. This was you at 1 year old.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There's a future Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald. Look, he's even excited because I'm sure Bunny right that moment said, when you grow up, you can be a sheriff. And you're like, yay.
Yep, that's what it was.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah. What was my other question going to be now? I can't even think of it. Whatever. Yeah.
All right, it's your birthday. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the 3rd of July. That was a great fireworks show. We got treated like royalty up there at the Dryden camp. Yeah,
at the ice cream stand, and we even had a person that would go. There's a long line. Not for us, man. My niece Lily, she also works there, but she wasn't working that night, so we slipped her some money, and she went and got all of our orders. Skipped through the whole line. It was great, and it was so fun to watch you and Dad, and of course Wilson there. That was just great. All of us, and again, meeting your mom and your dad. I've talked to them, social media, I've messaged them, etc. But actually meeting them, and no kidding, they are just legit. We are so blessed to have the parents that we have, man.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, it's awesome. So, happy birthday, Karen, on the 18th.
Oh, no, well, that's next week. That's like literally a week from today.
Yeah, well, yeah.
That's all right.
We'll celebrate her next week, too.
Yeah. We'll celebrate you next week, Karen. I'm kidding. Happy early birthday. Adam, happy birthday. Boy, look at this. This is great. We should have a birthday every week. Yeah,
we should. So, but no, the Shell Lake did an unbelievable job for fireworks. No issues over the 4th of July. We did a lot of stuff on the water. We did a lot of stuff on the trails. We did a lot of stuff. I did send one press release out yesterday about a sex offender being released.
I didn't understand that, by the way. So I didn't even put it up because I didn't know.
I don't like it either, but that's just what I was given.
I didn't put it on our website. Did you put it on your Facebook page?
I didn't, only because our Facebook guy was gone yesterday.
Okay, so I was hesitant. So you sent out this press release yesterday, and I could still put it up, but it was just it was a sex offender release.
Right.
And we always post those. Every time we send it, we post a sex offender release, and it's usually going to be released in this town or usually an address on this date. Well, it said July 19th, 2022. Like 2022. That's a year. So here you go, everyone. Just so you know, a sex offender is going to be released a year ago. So like, I don't even know how to really, what's the headline? Like, I don't even know how to do this. So why was it just, because the date on the press release was actually, because it wasn't from you, like the sex offender, the actual notification was from, I think like yesterday, the day before. It just came out. Why did it take a year?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. He got arrested for some new charges, and based on his new charges, they realized he was a sex offender from 1987. So because he's in Wisconsin, he has to register. I'm not 100% sure, but I got that and sent it right out because he is a sex offender, and I just do that for public awareness. He's not wanted. You can't do anything about it, but it's just, hey, if you see this guy, he sexually assaulted, I think it was a 13 and 18-year-old. So people aren't excited when I send those out. I don't like to send them out. In fact, Saturday I had a great conversation with a campground north of Rice Lake for about an hour and a half on sex offenders that live down the road from a campground. It's legal to where they're living. People don't like it. No one wants it in their backyard. No one wants,
I get it.
Whatever, an airport in their backyard. No one wants a sex offender in their backyard. No one wants whatever. But they have to go somewhere. Some municipalities are creating ordinances. We've talked about that, and I don't like that. So they get put into the rule settings, which is maybe a good spot for them. But this is near a campground, and we had a great conversation. To be honest, some of these sex offenders have so many rules and GPSs, and that they're very compliant. In fact, I don't know of an incident. We were talking yesterday here with my administrative team. I don't know of an incident where a sex offender has done a violation. Now, I don't want everybody to put their guard down because that's why we send this out. This is just for public awareness, personal protection. Hey, if you see this guy, whatever, just be aware. You don't have to cross the street and walk on the other side because he's going to jump out and attack you. But it's awareness, and that's what we do is we create awareness, whether it's drugs, sex offenders, whatever it is. So
what's I'll put that up today. What's my headline?
Yeah. Sex offender released in the community a year ago. I don't know.
Right, a year ago. Because I felt like I think there's going to be a lot more questions.
Well, there's a lot of questions. I don't like it.
But I don't like, as a media outlet, I don't like posting something that is going to have more questions than answers. Like, that's the whole point. And I don't know why. I can't figure it out. But
something
it sounds
to do
like
with a new charge. He got charged in a different county with something. And because of this, they learned he was living here. I don't know the answer to that.
I'll figure out something and put it up. And then you need to respond to all the comments.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said contact those numbers on the bottom because this isn't my deal. A lot of them, some of the sex offenders don't like that I put that out. I don't care.
Well,
well, I mean, they don't like to be the center of attention. This guy's lived in the community for a year. Now he's not going to be the center of attention. And not my problem. Don't do the crime if you can't do the, time.
Right.
This is strictly, it says in there, they're not wanted. We don't have to, you don't have to walk on the other side of the street of this person, whatever they are, when I put them out. So this is strictly, just awareness. So, but that's the only thing we've done. It's been really great. We're getting ready for the Barron County Fair next week. Obviously our Cops and Robbers Donut Dash race is going to be the biggest ever. So everybody can come out and run or walk next Saturday.
When you say next, 2nd. Is it this or the
a week from Saturday? It's the 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah, the fair starts a week from tomorrow. The Barron County Fair starts. Best 5 days of the year. So we just get to eat all day.
You know what? I forgot. Usually when we start the show, I have like today's national something. I forgot. Yeah. I was going to do that. Today's national. Something about State Fair Food Day or something.
That's why they released all the new fair food for the Minnesota State Fair this morning. That's what I was reading this morning.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's why. That makes sense.
Look at us.
Yeah, look at us.
Figuring things out.
Look at this. We're only 150 shows into this, and we still got we're learning.
Oh, by the way, I think this is like 147th-ish. We should probably do something for 150th show.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I don't want to count. I don't want to give nothing away. I can't count anymore.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's for the birds.
No, a big shout out to them. I mean, we've talked a lot about that, but again, a big shout out.
And remind people, so the Cops and Robbers, it's where is it? When is it? Do they have to get tickets? And what is this? What's the money go for?
So easy. The money goes for a shop at the Cop in December. 100% of the proceeds go to our Shop at the Cop through the Barron County Law Enforcement Foundation. Oh, that's Northwoods Promotions. And there's our Barron County Law Enforcement Foundation
Yeah.
logo. Yeah.
I just
And
put
they
it on
give
this morning right before the show, so I didn't even look at it.
Chris Olson and his staff down at Northwoods Promotions gives us a great deal on shirts, and they work with us, and the design is just super cool this year. I just love the design.
Yeah, and they have something on the back I noticed.
Yep. I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, and it's an obviously in memory of in honor of Japers. Hunter and Emily Japers.
Sure.
Yeah, that's who it's obviously, and all fallen officers. And what's neat about our run is we do it for the Shop at the Cop event, and it's Saturday the 22nd. You can sign up online on the Sheriff's Department Facebook page. You can sign up. We just ordered a few more shirts, so you can get one of these shirts, but you've got to probably order today. Because I think that we did get another order. Northwoods Promotions put in another quick order for us. So I think we ordered about 25 more shirts. They'll be gone very shortly. It's $25. Proceeds go to our Shop at the Cop. It's a 3-mile lap along the lake, along Rice Lake, down across Main Street and back up through the fairgrounds. You get a free admission to the fair that day. It's just awesome. Free donuts at the 1.5 miles, free donuts at the end. I mean, we have good marketplace donuts at the end. I mean, the big marketplace donuts we've got at the end. I'm going to order those today. We have over 150 runners this year already signed up. We want more. We'll make a couple $1,000 for our Shop at the Cop event. Donuts in the middle, donuts at the end, free water, great time. And everybody gets a sticker that runs. And it's in honor of a fallen officer over the last year. So,
wow.
And actually everybody's going to run in honor of Hunter and Emily. Their names are going to be on everybody's sticker. So you'll actually run for a fallen officer with you, which is kind of cool. That's a new addition over the last couple of years that Jen has done. Our dispatcher, Jen, has done an unbelievable job with this event. So it's awesome. So, Ben, when you come to the fair, we'll get a picture of all this.
You need to. I think you said you need to come, not when I come. Last I heard, the fair's outside. So that's probably a no-go. Yeah, well, Pete says, former Sheriff Pete Johnson says, you don't look a day over 60. Oh, isn't that nice of Pete?
Yeah.
What a guy, I tell you.
He's lucky he's not the Polk County Sheriff. I'd steal his employees. No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, so that's going on. So that's what we're gearing up for this week, is getting ready for the fair.
What about Freedom Music Fest? So you weren't on last Tuesday, of course, because Wilson was on because you had something to go to last Tuesday. So we haven't had a chance to talk about Freedom Music Fest. What did you think of the show? Or shows, I should say.
Right. Yeah, I think it was awesome. Freedom Music Fest was great. I think the staff did an unbelievable job. We've agreed to help with that. We've enjoyed that so much that we both have agreed to help with that event next year. So they're always looking for more volunteers. We're looking to help them raise a lot more money for the Washburn County and the surrounding communities, and the honored law enforcement. That was very special. EMS, fire. You were up on stage. You had to get your nice, your whites on. Yeah, and that was just neat to be up there with all of those. We were up there with Washburn and the tribal police and the Spooner chief. He's got a little baptism by fire, doesn't he? He got all that traffic we talked about. Yeah,
I talked to him a couple days ago, just offline, not for it wasn't like DrydenWire just Mike and Ben, but I did ask, how was it? He goes, well, everybody kind of knew it was going to be not maybe super great, but for the most part, it went fine. And he said, honestly, I only got a few middle fingers. So I'm like, hey, that's a win.
Yeah.
Because, it's not my fault. We're just.
He didn't build the road.
I didn't design the road.
And a lot of it is, law enforcement gets stuck with, whatever the state of Wisconsin does for roads, road construction. Well, we're not doing road construction just to slow you down intentionally. We're like, hey, I think Ben's going to drive on Highway 53. Let's close the road today.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't know. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I got another one of those email, Gabe Magnifici, because, we don't write political articles, therefore there's no bias politically, and we just publish any statements, press releases and guest columns from our area elected officials. Well, right now they're all Republicans.
Right.
So it seems a little Republican heavy. Well, it doesn't seem it is Republican heavy just because we don't have any Democrats in our 6-county area that represent any of these 6 counties. And Gay Man Fitzy put something up, and we got an email that's and so biased, and I've heard that you're so biased, and that article. I'm like, but I didn't write it, and it says right there, press release. Yeah, but you published it. I'm like, whatever.
I publish them all. Right?
That's just it. Whatever.
I know. People just need to get along. There's my birthday wish. Everybody should just get along. I went to a meeting last night that was, whatever. I'm not even going to talk about it, but it was a disaster. So I'd never been to something like that before, and everybody needs to just get along. And it was, we could all do a lot better in the world, but I get it. Sometimes change needs to happen, and whatever. So other than that, just looking, we're getting ready. We've got a prey farm this weekend. It's prey farm days. You know where prey farm is? You didn't know where McConnell was the other day.
I still don't know where McConnell is, but
I got wet.
I literally think that you and your dad were making that up. Just because, I would be like, oh, yeah, we're going to be in McConnell. You should come down. I'm like, no, someone has to do the show. Besides, don't think that's an actual city or town. I think you guys both knew that I would just say, okay. But I do know Prairie Farm because I went through there one time, and the roads around there were terrible. That's all I remember. It was like just bump after bump, but it was probably in the spring or something.
It's a new road now.
Is it?
So, yeah, it's having a big tractor and truck pull Friday night. So it's Prairie Farm days this weekend.
Isn't Prairie Farm pretty close to the edge of the county?
To Dunn County, yeah.
Dunn County.
Yep, Dunn County. So actually, I want to give a shout out to Tracy Finch. I mean, she's had some crazy press releases in the last couple of weeks.
And I'm actually going to be posting one right now. I'm just waiting for a booking photo. But there was a situation that was yesterday. So I'm just waiting for hopefully it'll be in my email box as soon as the post is already up-ish. Yeah. It's just not public yet. I'm just waiting for that booking photo. As soon as I get it, there'll be another one. But she's gone through quite a bit lately.
If you're in Burnett County, you need to take some donuts over to the sheriff's department. They're doing
a phenomenal job, and they are overworked and understaffed, and they have no money to add anybody.
And they've gotten some major cases in the last couple of months. So if you're in Burnett County, shout out to the Burnett County cops. I mean, it's been crazy. Yeah, so shout out to Tracy and her staff. I mean, they've had some crazy press releases. I've had some crazy stuff here, but never back to back like that. I mean, she's had officer-involved shootings and high-speed chases, and she's caught every one of them too. I mean, they're like 4 for 4, so don't mess with them. But yeah. It's like, right? I love when we win. I mean, we don't always win, but like my guys say, you pay us to win, so we win. But yeah, shout out to Tracy and Burnett County. But if you're in Burnett County, go get them some donuts and drop it off at the sheriff's department. They deserve it. So,
and let us know if you do. Because we'll totally give you shout-outs for that. Because, no kidding, I literally actually had a phone conversation with Tracy this morning. Yeah. It was about the release thing, but then, how's it going? And yeah, it's... Yeah, they don't have any, a lot of counties, but really in Burnett County, they just don't really have, you can move money around as a tax levy, and take a little from here. They just don't really have any. And their staff is so overworked, and the things that they deal with it's nuts.
Yeah. And there's another event on Saturday, the 15th, over in Weyerhaeuser. It's our Pork in the Park event.
That's right.
Yeah. So you can share that this week if you want to. Yeah, everybody come out to the Weyerhaeuser Park on Saturday from 2 to 10. Raise money for the Barron County SWAT team, our Rusk County SWAT team. So it's a great time, lots and lots of prizes and lots of cool things that, Riley and Jody Cummett are big. Riley's on our team. Jody's a state trooper. They're a big push behind this. A lot of my members of our SWAT team and the Rusk County Sheriff's Department put this event together. I know they've got a whole team of people working on it, but shout out to them and shout out to all the people that put on these events. Everybody needs to go to this. Another cool event happening. The Boys and Girls Club has got a lemonade stand, and they're selling lemonade for $1. And these kids are doing this. And I put it on our Facebook today. I'm like, everybody should go to the Boys and Girls Club tomorrow and Thursday and buy lemonade for $1. And let's show these kids what a community is behind them. And they'd love it if everybody in the community stopped and bought lemonade from them. I mean, we've got to do these. These are the little things that make a big difference. And I know it's maybe a mile out of your way to stop at the Boys and Girls Club of Barron
Okay.
County and buy a cup of lemonade, but go do it. Stop and buy a cup of lemonade they're only putting it on for like 3 to 5 or 2 to 4. I don't know. It's on our Facebook page. But Wednesday and Thursday, every Wednesday and Thursday in July, it's summer lemonade stand, and they're raising money to fund the club, and it's awesome. So.
Well, I find it interesting. So this is your first, 50th birthday celebration show, so you can talk about whatever you want. I'm finding interesting what you're talking about. I'll share that with you after 15 seconds after a word from Spooner Health.
Satisfaction surveys and in conversations with patients, they appreciate the fact that staff got to know them. Staff really took their preferences into account, and they just feel grateful that they are being cared for as a person.
To learn more about our services, visit spoonerhealth.com.
So this is my birthday gift, as it were. Because I can't cook any meals or anything. It's you talk about whatever you want to talk about today, which usually you kind of do anyway, because it is mostly still your show. But you can, I don't bring up anything. You just do. It's been 25 minutes since we'll be doing the show, and everything you've talked about is talking about events, community, and you've been giving shout outs and support for everyone else.
Yeah.
I just took note of that. That's what if I could talk about whatever, that's what you wanted to talk about. Make sure, get some donuts for Tracy Finch and the team over in Burnett and all these great fundraisers and all these things that are trying to help out. This is totally you. If anybody doesn't really know Fitzy, you just got to watch. This is the Fitzy that I know when we're not doing a show, when we have phone conversations, off the record, just, Ben and Chris, not Sheriff in DrydenWire. This is what you're always talking about. I just find that interesting.
I love raising money for different events. I love being part of the community. I love our communities. Even as far as Spooner, I mean, in helping them. And I don't have it racing that horse up there, but I think it's an awesome event. And I think what happens in Spooner and you give there flows this way, and what people like Roundman and what they do for that event, and, different events, and what Dave Wilson did, and staying up all night and helping out,
stay up all night. What in the world?
Yeah. And what Amy does and her staff. And I know people get frustrated, and I know people say, this and too much of this, and we don't get enough shout outs. And that's not why people do it. That's not. So, but this is what we need to do to make our communities better. That's why I do this show, because we do get an opportunity to talk about stuff we don't get to talk about. It's kind of funny. We put the snake post on Facebook, and it got millions of hits.
Yeah.
I shared that, it's been 12 hours. I've shared the lemonade stand. It's gotten 72 likes. It's like, come on, people. You share the snake one, but you won't share the lemonade stand one. Let's change our priorities here. I get it. It's funny. It's great. But let's share the lemonade stand one. Let's share the pork in the park. Let's share the volunteer for this. And I know people don't want to give up their weekends, and I know they don't want to do this, but man, the little thing, I'm not saying you got to volunteer for 24 straight hours. I'm saying if you're coming out for 4 hours, great. They'll take you at whatever event it is. We've got some cool things coming up. We've got some directors that do our nonprofits from our libraries. We've talked a lot about libraries. I mean, your daughter works at the library. They're great places. If you've never been to your library, get in your car and go to the library. Stop and buy lemonade on the way at the Boys and Girls Club, and then stop at the library. I mean, they're pretty cool places. They're community centers, whether we like them or not. Whether you support them, whether you don't support them, I don't care. I don't read books, but I don't go to the library a lot.
I don't either. Right. I mean, I read all the time.
Right.
It's not like, I don't read no books. I mean, I read, but I don't really have time to sit down and just, read a whole bunch. Sounds like, so from your brother, he wishing happy birthday. Hot dogs, donuts, and Mountain Dew are on the way. That'd
be the best. That's probably what we're having.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So, it's awesome. So,
all right.
I don't have anything else to talk about. I think I'm out of fundraisers.
Hey, if anybody has one, if anyone wants to take a second and just put in a comment about what you are, I guess, kind of thankful for about Fitzy, and I'll kind of kick it off, and I'll just say that how you that you're active and involved and engaged, and I've said that about a lot of usually like legislators. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. I really don't. I'm so apolitical. But I would like to see, active, involved, and engaged. Just do that. but it's so obvious that you are in your element. I mean, this is it's so obvious. Some people, I don't know. I feel like you're just doing the job because it's the job or your job. Maybe it's money, whatever the reason that people have their jobs they do. But you know when someone is loving that, I can't believe I get paid for this kind of a thing. And, there's always like 20% of your job that you hate. And I've always looked at it as that's what you get paid for. Because the other 80%, man, I'll just do this anyway because I just love it. But it's so obvious. You like to have fun. You like to be engaged in the community, but you're also very professional. And you've always talked about anything that needs to be talked about. There hasn't been one question that anybody's ever asked. We've had a few in the past that kind of maybe, went after you a little, and it's like, no, I'll talk about it. We've had some difficult discussions on the show. I mean, difficult topics that we have discussed on the show, and you keep doing it. So I appreciate you so much. It's your 50, well, technically tomorrow. You've been the sheriff for how many years?
What is this, 16?
16, and in law enforcement for?
This would be 27 then.
27. So now looking in your 50s. I know this is usually when law enforcement officers do start thinking about my career. I think somewhere around, I don't know if it's like 55 or maybe it's after X amount of years in your position. I can't remember. But this is kind of one of those times where you start thinking a little bit about what do I want to do? Do I have any plans? Do you still love what you do? It seems like you do.
100%. There's no stopping this train. So this train's going to go as long as the people want me to keep going, and I'm pretty sure that's for a while. So yeah, I've got a great team we built here. We're adding to our team next week. Our 2 new deputies start next week, so we're adding to that team. We're going to be even stronger and better. The best 5 days of the year is coming up, the Barron County Fair. That's where we get to see and be with 30,000 people over those 5 days. Those are what make the difference. I mean, we learn about, hey, I got speeders on this road, or hey, I think this is a drug house, or hey, I think that's where we can make the biggest difference. You got to tell us about it so we can do something about it. I love to talk to all those people all day long and then eat the food and the pie shakes. If you've never had a pie shake, I mean, these are the greatest things ever. The 4-H junior stand or a 4-H stand, pie shakes. They take a whole piece of pie and then put ice cream and mix it together, and it's the greatest thing in the world. So if you never had a pie shake, if you come to the fair, I'll buy you a pie shake.
Yeah, I probably will. Fitz is not just a sheriff; he's also a friend to many, and that means a lot. Sometimes the kids need that more than tough love. Thanks for all you do. That's wonderful, Jody. No kidding.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And Adam, a true leader. Not all of us have that. You always know. If Adam's commenting, he's going to have to throw in a couple of zingers there. Not all of us have that, assuming he was referring to Washburn County. So I'm thankful for what he does for all of our communities. And yeah, that is the other thing. We've talked about that when Dad retired, you kind of were the old man, the one that's been there kind of longest. I don't know how long Jeff in Rusk has been. How long has Jeff been the sheriff?
It's shorter than me. He started after.
Yeah, and because we always kind of talk about Northwest Wisconsin, rural Northwest Wisconsin is really just one big community made up of little pockets of communities. Yeah, you kind of have been. I mean, just recently, how many things that you've gone to or sent people down to help Polk and Burnett, and they've certainly done the same for you. But that's just it. Everybody works together in these, these few counties in our rural Northwest Wisconsin area. So you've kind of become that person for all of them. And I'm sure there are some people who look at it and say that, well, why don't you just focus on Barron County?
Yeah.
But this all impacts all of us.
Right.
So that's an important role.
100%. I mean, it does. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why those sheriffs work for me and I work for them. We could just concentrate on the 900 square miles and never leave the 4 corners of this county, but that doesn't do us good. Crime doesn't stop at county lines, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. Right. That'd be funny to see, though, if it did. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Like you're driving, can't cross the line.
Yeah. And sometimes you see that. You see some enforcement efforts, going one way. You're like, man, we haven't had enough, but everybody else has been around us. Well, hopefully that's because of our, proactive patrol or whatever it is. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited. I appreciate all the birthday wishes. I love the Barron County Fair. Everybody knows that now. I've been doing the fair for 16 years, and I don't leave it sun up to sundown. I don't leave the fairgrounds. And I love it. And it's the best 5 days of the year. There's 4-H projects. I mean, I've never been in 4-H. I'm not a
I haven't
farmer.
either, but that stuff's legit. I love 4-H stuff.
Man, those kids put time into those projects and those animals. If you've never been to the Barron County Fair, come and have a pie shake and thank those kids for what they do and their animals. I mean, it's awesome. You got to take your time and go through all that. And sometimes I don't take enough time to realize, man, that kid built the Lego set. He got a blue ribbon. He's the happiest kid in the world. It's the little things that make a big difference. That's what Brian does. That's what we do. And that's what we try to, we do. So I appreciate it. That's all I got.
So can we agree on one thing, though? Now that you are 50, well, technically not to tomorrow, but now you're 50. I'm pretty sure Holly would echo this as well as your brother and Bunny and Dan, your parents. Can we all agree that if you are chasing someone in a vehicle and they get out to run, that you aren't going to actually get out of your vehicle and chase them? You're going to call the younger kids, the younger deputies, and have them chase. Can we agree to that?
There's a new policy, a door swatting policy that's coming out probably tomorrow. We'll probably have a door swatting policy. No, we're not going to. I'm just kidding. We're not going to. But, if you get away, I'm sure people would support that policy, a door swatting policy. We're not going to get our cops hurt. So don't run from the police. That's all. But I probably would chase them.
I know you would.
I wouldn't give up. I don't give up on bad guys, and we're going to catch the bad guys. But I'm probably going to go a little bit farther in my car.
Yeah. So now that 50, looking back, not over every 50 years necessarily, but like specifically, well, I remember at 13 but you've said before in the show you've always wanted to be a cop. You knew when you were a kid, I want to be a cop. You look at it now, just because, birthdays don't really mean that much, but, 40, 50, that's when, that's a time for reflection a little bit. When you look back and reflect on your life, obviously you have 2 great kids. I think just 2, right? Shoot. Yeah, I have 2. Emma and Jay. Your personal life and your professional life, when you look back on this, what do you think? When you do reflect, what goes through your mind?
Awesome. I mean, it's been an awesome ride. I mean, it's fabulous. Yeah, I would chase you, right?
Yeah. Your dad's right. If anybody knows you, it's your dad.
We don't give up. I'm blessed. You've said that 1,000 times that you're blessed. I mean, I'm just blessed by the people that surround me. It's awesome.
Yeah, our families, all the people, all the Washburn County employees that now currently work for you.
Just keep sticking that. I can't even drive in Washburn County anymore. I'm just a target.
Get out of here. They see you. The cops are just going to turn you around. Get out of this county.
You're going to have the Freedom Fest meetings in Barron County. We'll get arrested in Washburn.
Oh, my goodness. All right. What do you have come? Probably you have our weather update with Dirk Van Hassel. I'm sure he's going to put this in. Saw something this morning about the Northern Lights. Thursday or something. Okay, I'm not going to say what it's supposed to be called. Something boreal, something. I've always in my past said like areola, and I realized that's the wrong word to use. So I don't try to say it's just Northern Lights. I thought, right? Thursday night won't be enough to help. Oops, I should probably put it on the screen. Areas of smoke again. Rest of cloudy showers won't be enough to help with the drought conditions. Ouch. Aw.
They could be out Thursday night.
Middle of the week, that heat could last for. Yeah, that's weird. It's after, we were talking about this the other day. It's July 11th now. We've only mowed our lawn one time this whole year. One freaking time.
I'm going to mow mine tonight.
We're going to do it this week now just because there are like parts of it that are probably could use it. Yeah, but it's almost the middle of July and we've only mowed once? That's so weird. Yeah, so I guess Northern Lights, Wisconsin is going to be potentially one of the states that will actually be able to see those Thursday nights, so keep an eye out for that. And then on Thursday, of course, I believe I'll be chatting with Congressman Tom Tiffany for our monthly show. There's a lot going on in D.C., as always. Just politicians, I tell you. Or politics, just whatever.
The budget's passed in Wisconsin. That's a good thing. I mean, I think I mean, I know some people, like I know Romaine. I talked to Romaine last night and a couple nights, and I mean, I know he's not happy with everything, but they got some things, and as you should. I mean, every budget's not perfect, but I think he wishes he would have got some more funding for rural roads. I know he's upset about that, and I think that's probably a good one that probably shouldn't have got cut when there's some budget surplus. Our rural roads funding, as I've been part of the county here, I learned a lot about rural roads and highway shops and funding and road funding, and I've learned a lot about that. And there's not a ton of money out there for rural roads, so I think that's important. So
well, and that's another thing. Going back to the reason I'm apolitical, and apolitical doesn't mean I'm just like in the middle. Apolitical largely means I just don't care. I don't, and I mean that sincerely, but not negatively. I mean, people elect people to make these decisions. Do your job. There's only one thing, and I know that we're going to get some of the things that you may want and some of the things you maybe not want. But that's their job. You guys figure it out. You guys argue and you complain and you go back and forth and veto this and ask for this. That's what your job is. Just do that. I only have one request, and that is don't spend money we don't have. That's it. Let's not have a deficit. If we have money, use it. On what? Whatever you Republicans and Democrats come up with, it'll be in the middle somewhere. One side will get half the things they want, the other side will only get half the things they want, and that's how it's supposed to work. But the weird thing is, why do we? I mean, I understand why we care. I don't want to go off on a thing here. I'm just saying, we get so passionate about it, but that's their job. You guys figure it out. Just don't spend money we don't have, and why do I get so fired up? Why do people get so fired up? Well, we got to put you in a box. You have to be a Democrat or Republican, and then I know everything about you. Your neighbor moves in, and they have a Biden sign. Say no more. I know everything about that. Come on, knock it off. I get that politics drives a lot of things for a lot of people, but it just doesn't for me, and I think we'd all be a little bit happier if, it's important to be in the know and to follow these things, but my goodness, does it really affect your day?
And the other thing we want from our politicians is they're in session more. Then they can make more decisions.
They have been. You'd be very happy. They've been in session a lot since they've gotten in this first 6 months, man.
They'll have to take some time off now because they've worked so hard.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm just kidding. They do their job.
I mean,
when they're arguing about something, go back in session and make some decisions then. Vote. Let's go.
Let's go. That's what Kenneth says all the time. Let's go. So, 100% agree. Hey, thanks so much. Happy birthday, Fitzy. No kidding.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back next week, right?
I will, the day before the Barron County Fair.
Oh, that's right. For the birthday boy, Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. You can give Brian a call today. The owner has set his cell phone number. His personal cell phone number is on the screen. Text him or give him a call today, 715-520-2271. Thank you, everyone, for all the birthday wishes for Fitzy today and all the comments. Fitzy and I'll be back next week, so until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.